It's Monday again. Hey guys, this is Mozza, just doing a roundup for my trolley problem question. This video is kind of rushed because I'm busy today because I'm moving, so from now on my videos will be in a different setting. This should be the last video in this room with my periodic table behind me, and yeah, so that's exciting, unless I make videos while I'm visiting down here, which is unlikely. I'm moving out to go to university, and so that should be fun. Okay, this week we missed Eddie and Douglas. I don't know why, but I hope that gets better, that situation. Let me just put it that way. So we did get a third-party response this week from Orygyn. I'd like to thank him for his response. It's attached as a video response to the question this week, and I'll also put a link to his video in the sidebar. Okay, so on to this question, my sort of response to this question. In the first situation, we'll definitely flip the switch to the one person on the other side of the tracks, and I think that's the moral thing to do. And that is about the end of the easy parts of this question. In the second situation, like in the first situation, I think everyone agrees on those two bits. In the second question, which is with the fat man, like you either push the fat man off and kill him in order to save 5 other people. And really the difference here is that the fat man is a little less involved, and you have to push him. And I thought it was quite curious that... sorry, I forgot your name for a second, Sofia. I thought it was curious that Sofia thought that the fact that you had to physically push the fat man off made the moral difference here. I could completely understand that you wouldn't be willing to do it yourself, and I probably wouldn't do it in the situation myself either. But as to whether ideally, you know, the moral, what the moral thing to do would be, I think you would probably push the fat man off. Yeah, I think you would. Yeah. Andrew said, I think Andrew and I have the same responses to this question, that he wouldn't do it himself, but that would be the moral thing to do, to push him off. Orygyn, your response was kind of interesting. The third part, your answer to the third part, I thought was interesting, but I thought it was a bit avoiding the question. The first two responses that you gave, where you had like half flip the switch so that the trolley derails. I don't know if does that actually happen on train tracks? I mean, if that's so, then it's really a weakness in how the question is constructed, and that shouldn't be an alternative, because the whole point of the question is to make you decide between these two options, and you know, there is no happy ending, everyone lives solution, because obviously if that's a real decision, then that's what everyone must do. I did that a bit out of sequence. The fat man. In the situation with the future surgeon, oh god, I can't remember what your responses were. I did watch them. Andrew's one... I'm sorry guys, I kind of forget what you said. I don't remember what Andrew said. I'm pretty sure both you and Sofia said that you wouldn't do it, and that it wasn't the moral thing to do to cut up to get the person's organs out and put them in the other person. I thought it was quite, this is the interesting bit of Orygyn's response. You're the only person I know who just went out and said that it was moral to sedate the traveller and use their organs, even though you wouldn't do it, probably because of liability reasons and that you couldn't bring yourself to do it. I don't know what your reasons were. But yeah, that was the interesting part of your response, I thought. As to its difference and why it perhaps wouldn't be moral, I'm kind of on the fence on this one. I don't think I would take out the organs and move them over, but as to whether it's the moral thing to do, I'm really on the fence, because for the simple reason that it is so similar to the first scenario, in that you have 5 lives versus 1 life. And I think in these questions, what happens is when you have these more difficult variations, one of the reasons why it becomes more difficult is because you describe characteristics of the single person, and it makes you relate to that person, whereas the 5 people are just mentioned as, oh, they're 5 other people, they need organ transplants. But the other person is a healthy traveller who comes in for a health checkup and blah blah blah, and so a lot of the question focuses on this person, and so I think you can sympathise with the single traveller rather than the 5 other people, and sort of come to value that person's life. And I'm on the fence about this one. One way I could possibly distinguish morally between it and the first scenario is that we wouldn't want to live in a society where where it was permissible to just take somebody's life randomly and use them. You wouldn't want to be in a situation where at any moment, if it would save other people's lives, that your life would just be taken just like that. But I think that's a little bit weak. I mean, we always live with the risk that we die, on any day we could die. We could be in a car accident or whatever. So I'm still not sure. A weakness in this question is that you could actually ask the traveller what he wants to do. And I say that as a weakness in the question because that is the obvious response, and in fact you would have a moral responsibility to ask that person for their consent. But the point of the question is to make you decide one way or the other. One way you could possibly get around this is by saying that they don't speak English or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm sorry I can't exactly give an answer to that. I know pretty much that I wouldn't do it if I was a surgeon, but whether it would be the moral thing to do or not, I am on the fence. I was hoping that getting some other people's responses may help me, but not really. I've been thinking about this problem for quite some time. Anyway, so that's my rushed response. Obviously, like I kind of wish that I had rewatched your videos now, but that's the way it goes. I think that Sofia's response to the third question was much the same as what I gave, although I think she was more sort of decided on that it wasn't moral to get the organs out and put it into the other person. I think she may have mentioned about getting the other person's consent. Maybe that was Andrew, I forget. I'm sorry about that, but I am moving tomorrow, and so I don't have much time. I will hopefully see you guys next week with a much better video, so I'll catch you guys later.